Would you find and buy a lumberyard on Zillow? It's exactly what this young couple did from Ellenville, New York. What happened was they were in the area, the Shawaungunks to be specific. They were in the area during the COVID, around 2021. Jonathan and Rebecca are the young couple from New York City who bought this property. Their relatives were real estate attorneys, and Jonathan said to him, "We really need to check this out." It was listed as a single-family home.
When we came across the lumberyard for sale on Zillow, it was actually listed as a single-family house. And I sent it to my brother saying we should look at if buying this would make sense as a home base to fix up all the other rentals. And I don't know, I thought it was a long shot, but my brother was kind of the one who's no, go talk to them and see what the deal is. And the manager there, who had worked there for 40 years, wanted to work 2 more years to get Medicare.
Right.
So, me and Becca sort of replaced his partner, who was a 95-year-old woman.
They found the property. They went and spoke to the manager who'd been there for 40 years. One of the greatest things, I believe, that the steps that they took was that they kept the manager, because he has taught them everything, as Jonathan tells us. Now remember, this is a company, this is a couple from corporate America in Manhattan. They're not country folk. They've never owned a lumberyard. They've had it for 2 years now, and when I asked Jonathan, how's it going, he said, it's going. It's a big learning curve for them, but they have done amazingly creative and innovative processes to bring the community in. For instance, the Slutsky pinup calendar, highly controversial, but a beautiful photographed calendar. As Rebecca continues with this idea of the Slutsky calendar, she claims that this is the one time a year, because it's last year, 2023, they did it the first time. And the photographs are beautiful. Yes, they're a little risque. However, it's the people in the community. It is contractors, artisans, woodworking people, and just people who come in to shop wanted to participate with this calendar. As Rebecca claims also, they wanted to be part of the revitalization of this community. Her family was involved at some point. What I think is the most interesting and telling part about this young couple buying the lumberyard, the whole aspect that what good they're doing for this community. That lumberyard had been there since World War II. The original owner is 95. I think this is going to be 65 years that Slutsky Lumberyard has been in existence. This couple literally stepped up to the plate and has saved something with huge history, but it's also a huge part of the community. I want you to go on the podcast details. I want you to look at this calendar. Their Instagram handle is on the podcast details. There's so much to talk about when you look at the work of this young couple, and the fact that they kept their manager with them in order to have him help them make this transition. This is a quantum leap from going from the city up to the Shawaungunks. They're in a stunning, beautiful area also, but you'll see some of their clients, you'll see some of their work, you'll see some of their products. They have merchandise, really thought-provoking concepts that they're embracing. The other part that I really admire them for is they've kept a lot of the old, meaning they have this old Ford truck, and there's pictures on Instagram. They have this old Ford truck that can still haul massive amounts of lumber. They're renovating parts of the existing building also. It needs to be renovated and upgraded, but you'll see they have a lot of pictures with their clients. Oh, remember, visit their Instagram. You're going to see all the podcasts. You're going to see all the podcast information. You're going to see all their details on my podcast information. So enjoy the history, enjoy this tale. It's a feel-good story about this young couple who is revitalizing the area. Any of those of you who know and have been through the mountains, you will see there is some areas where it feels impoverished. However, having people come up, buy properties, not necessarily even be a business, one of their forces of strength, Rebecca and Jonathan, is that they help others renovate perhaps older buildings, decrepit properties with a love. And Andy, who I put on this podcast a few weeks ago, is a contractor, a general contractor in that area, and he's the one who introduced me to this really young, vital couple who you just can't sing enough praises to for helping this community, becoming part of the community, and being a little fun with the pinup calendar. As you can see, revitalization is a super important thing. It's spring now. The spring equinox is a big deal in every country. Therefore, on the podcast details on the yoga aspect segment, the Kriya that I have put the link to is related to the spring equinox, because during winter we're really planting seeds to start blooming and coming to sprouting in spring. Therefore, the Kriya that I included for Kundalini Yoga is all about the spring equinox and how to bring revitalization into your own life. Lastly, with wine, I also included really a wonderful article on women vintners who are revitalizing the whole aspect of women in the winemaking world. Therefore, this whole podcast is about revitalization. Remember to go back and look at my podcast details for great links to Jonathan and Rebecca Falcon, Falcon. Look at all the wonderful information, all the works that they're doing. Practice the spring equinox Kriya on my Kundalini Yoga section. Lastly, review the wines that these women are creating from revitalized vineyards. A lot of women have bought some of the older vineyards in Spain, in France, even Chile. A lot of areas women have again stepped up to the plate and created really beautiful wines now. To wrap this up, I'm Valerie Hale. I create this podcast once a week to help people with their mindset, because we all need to improve our thinking process. Remember, thoughts become things. Choose the good ones. I also help people improve their fear and anxiety when it comes to speaking in meetings and conferences. That process, those classes are on my podcast details also. Merci, au revoir.